There we go. It's a nice.
It's like a millionaire.
Who's a millionaire?
Oh, my T-shirt.
Oh, that's a nice Joe Rogan T-shirt you've got on there. He's wearing the foreskins of Korean children.
Yes.
It's an actual trend, by the way.
Honestly, it's the latest fashion sense. You circumcise the disadvantaged and you turn them into a shirt.
You turn them to advantages for the rich.
Exactly.
That's how you do it.
That's exactly it.
Okay, I think that's it.
Aren't we not supposed to cuss in like the first?
I forgot.
5
Well,
minutes?
okay. I mean, foreskin probably isn't that bad.
Foreskin.
Probably.
But it's. I mean, to be fair, it's the foreskin. Like. I don't know. I kind of lost my train of thought now.
Edward's brain just shut down. You're gonna see that edited well. Joe Rogan, Bro Jogan. What did Joe Rogan do this time, Edward? Tell us in detail what he did, and tell us your personal opinions about
my personal opinions,
your impersonal opinions,
my objective
your schizophrenic opinions.
Look. I may be a schizophrenic, but everything I say,
we may be schizophrenic.
We may be schizophrenic.
Our schizophrenic.
Just with the Russian music behind. No,
I got copyright claim for that one last time.
Oh yeah, true. How come when I did the joke, we didn't get copyright claim?
For which one?
For the Russia, the Soviet Union.
How long did you put the national anthem? That's the other thing.
Like 3 minutes.
The whole thing?
Yeah.
Then I think I don't think it was the whole thing. I mean, that's
no, it wasn't the whole thing.
It was probably like a few seconds.
Yeah, it wasn't a few seconds either. It was like a good minute and a half, and
I don't know.
It was like 59 seconds or something like that. Maybe a minute and 6 seconds. I don't know exactly.
YouTube picks and chooses.
Yeah, the YouTube content ID system is really wacky.
Stupid.
Yeah, stupid. Anyways. Yeah, I don't like Bro Jogan.
What did he do this time, Edward? Tell the people that listen to this podcast, all 7,000 of them.
All 7,000. They clipped them out of context.
Exactly.
That's what he did. No, but in general, I kind of really don't like Joe Rogan. Not because I think he's like inherently a bad person. I just think that like I think that he prefers not being held to any sort of standard rather than being held to any standard. Because like he portrays himself as very neutral, right? Mm-hmm. But really, like he's not. Like the only people he really argues against are the people that like bring him facts.
The left-wing people.
Yeah,
the
left-wing
facts and
people.
logic people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's inherently more dangerous than just outright saying your positions, which are very right-wing. I mean, there is a reason why he moved to like what, Texas or something.
Yeah, because saving money on all there's no income tax.
Yeah, so I don't know. I just don't like him, especially like when you look at his older episodes or older stuff where he's like, yeah, these idiots thinking that like vaccines aren't good or anything, and like he's like calling out anti-vaxxers, and then he progressively gets more and more anti-vax, and I'm 100% sure. Let's go. I'm 98% sure.
99.99.
Yes,
with
99.99.
room for statistical error.
Yes, room for statistical error. That how do you call it? That the reason that he's like that is because the people like he said something at one point that was factually incorrect, and then regular people, like actually intelligent people, were like saying, like criticizing him basically, and then the anti-vaxxers were all like, yeah, and so he went to the anti-vaxxers for giving him money.
Well, I don't know about that, because it's just he just seems very dumb, like, but the problem is he's a very loud, dumb person. Because I wouldn't say he's explicitly anti-vax in general, but I understand that he's like the COVID vaccine. But the other thing is too, he's always kind of been like that conspiracy theory wise, because he's like, he believes in the UFOs and like DMT and you get into another dimension and stuff like that. And that's why when he had Alex Jones on the podcast multiple times, Alex Jones would be like, yeah, and it's like these crazy conspiracies, and look it up, Joe. And I mean, Joe's not gonna be like, yeah, let me do some well-written, thought-out research on
Google
this.
it, like,
exactly,
are UFOs real?
And then the first thing is like an Alex Jones thing saying yes. So he's like, okay, yes, it's true, right? Yeah. But yeah, he invited him on. Alex Jones says a bunch of crazy stuff, and Joe, instead of going, I don't think that's true, he just goes, wow, that's crazy. Like, wow, that's crazy. Yeah, exactly. Anyways, but like by not disassociating with him, he's associating with him. You get me?
Yeah.
Well, he's not going like, yeah, I believe 100% everything Alex Jones says. He doesn't have to say that. He just all he has to do is not say that he doesn't believe what he says.
Yeah.
That's it. As even like you said, if he just remains neutral and goes anyways, people will take that as, oh, he's on his side, he's on our side.
Yeah,
blah,
he
blah,
doesn't
blah.
push back at all.
Exactly. Like they're probably like, oh yeah, and that's why he was voting for Trump and stuff. But he's like, no, dude, I voted for like Bernie in the election and like all that kind of stuff. And I don't know. I don't know. If he voted for Biden in this one,
I
but-
never wanted to imply that like he's intentionally malicious. I just think that as a normal person, because like I'm thinking about this like I'm pretty sure like he comes off as like a really down to earth type of person, right?
No.
No,
No, you gotta watch his podcast. He's out of his fucking mind.
no, but he seems like a normal casual person. He's out of his fucking
He's
mind.
constantly eating elk meat that he hunts himself with bows.
What?
Exactly. That's what I'm telling you. So, see, now we have the 2 points. Let's see what Edwards heard about Joe Rogan and
Okay,
what
so-
actually happens to
Okay,
Joe Rogan.
so basically,
Rogan's-
I do listen to a couple of clips.
Joe Rogan's been out of touch since like 2014, 2013, ever since he blew up, basically.
Okay, I don't
Once he gets rich,
consistently.
that's
Yeah,
it.
I don't consistently listen to his podcast. Like, I know some clips. Like I do watch some things like in particular. And I try to get clips that aren't like cut off half sentence because I really don't trust those when they're cut off half sentence because it's very easy to manipulate information when you cut
'Cause-
someone off mid sentence.
Yeah, you can just be like, yeah, and then black people are bad, and then
Yeah.
and then it's like, well, was he quoting someone? What was that
Yeah,
context?
you know.
Is there anything else? You
Yeah.
know, is he saying like black people are bad? And so we get this idea of that, but it's not actually true. You know, like is there a full explanation?
Or like the whole N-word thing that's
Yeah.
happening right now. It's like, anyways, but how do you call it?
He's not down to earth.
He's not done.
I'll tell you that.
But like
He's
from what I see him like on some of his live streams, because I've seen some of his live streams, he doesn't seem particularly like, or at least in short bursts, he seems particularly like
he-
an average person. Like he comes off as like the average person in the short clips.
He wants to be the average Joe because that's how he like came up, and he thinks he can still be that. But it's like no,
Not
like,
anymore.
You're a millionaire. You
Yeah.
hire bodyguards. You're eating elk meat that you hunt yourself for sport, and like with like the most expensive stuff. You know,
Yeah.
it's not exactly like it's disingenuous to say that he's a down to earth person.
No. But that's
He's-
not what I wanted to say.
He's basically Gwyneth Paltrow for men.
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
Goop for men.
That's exactly.
He
Yeah,
is
that's
Goop
true.
for
That's
men.
true. That's true. That's true.
Where he's like,
That's my
guys,
exact stance
yeah,
on him.
Go out there and lift. Get some multivitamins and stuff like that. And most multivitamins aren't even FDA approved because it's like
None of them are.
You can't. Yeah, you can't prove. Like you can't prove anything, right? Doctors can tell you, yeah, it's good to take multivitamins, but it's like there's no such thing as an exact science, of course. But still, they're not FDA approved because you can't say like this for sure does this in clinical trials because they'll do the same thing as like placebos do.
Yeah, well, the thing is that we know they don't really do anything.
Mhm.
It's not that they can't. It's not that they're not able to. Well, it's okay. So this is the wording is very specific here because they can't really prove that they work because we already kind of know that they don't really work in the way they say. Like we just already know, and so in order for like the FDA to not come down on them, they use vague claims like, oh yeah, like
B12 is good for you. It's
B12
like, what the
is
fuck
good
is
for you.
B12? I haven't taken B12 in the 30 years I've been alive, and like
Yeah.
I'm fine.
Yeah, exactly. But in addition to that, they try to imply that like, oh yes, B12 is good for your health. It helped me overcome my my cancerous tumor growth on my ass.
exactly.
And you know, and that way you know they're liability free.
It helped me overcome it with the help of some surgery and some doctors and some chemotherapy and
Yeah,
a couple
yeah.
other things.
Like
Asterisk,
30,
asterisk,
50 asterisks.
asterisk.
Yeah. So you know it's not it's not real.
Yeah.
Also, not to mention that a lot of multivitamins, that especially like stuff that you get from like really popular sites like Amway,
Amway. Pyramid scheme.
yeah, pyramid scheme, don't really contain the vitamins they say they do. Like there was like I don't know about Amway specifically. I just wanted to say that because I hate Amway. But that's besides the point. Like there's been like a lot of research papers or a few research papers on where like you know people in laboratories get like random samples of like multivitamins from different popular companies.
And it's like it's just chalk.
yeah, basically it's just like wheat filler or like there's very little what they actually claim is inside, and that's because they have no regulation. Because the one time the government tried to actually regulate them, they ran like a propaganda campaign, basically with like Mel Gibson. Like these like things are hilarious.
Mel
Yeah,
Gibson.
they had Mel Gibson. It's like wait, it was like this ridiculous thing. Like they had like the
guy
SWAT
who
team.
said to his ex-wife, "I hope you get raped by a pack of N-words." Jesus Christ.
Fucking hell.
I'll take his word for it.
Honestly, uh,
The SWAT, you're saying?
yeah. The commercial is basically like this ridiculous thing where like a SWAT team broke into a house, and like Mel Gibson's just in there like, wait, hold on, guys, it's just vitamins, and like it's like all the people trying to like shoot at him with like AK-47s.
Stupid.
It's so dumb. It's so dumb, and all they wanted to do was like essentially like, oh, make sure that you're selling the thing you say you're selling.
Yeah. I mean
It's
that's
insane.
That's how you get normal people looped into like scams and stuff like that,
Mm-hmm.
by having legitimate people like, oh, Kobe Bryant supports this. How could it not be legitimate? But it's like a pyramid scheme. Like one of my one of the coworkers over there, he's a cashier, and he got roped into like a pyramid scheme. But luckily he didn't spend too much. He said, like, you know,
Luckily.
but of course he's not gonna make anything back from it. But he's like, yeah. We were talking about like income inequality, and we were talking about like, oh, it's really easy to get money if you know rich people. And he goes, oh, I know a rich guy. And I was like, really? He's like, yeah, he's a CEO. And I was like, what's his name? And his name was like something, I don't remember off the top of my head.
Yeah.
I genuinely
No,
don't.
I mean like
But-
who?
Exactly. I'm like, who's the CEO? And he tells me, oh, it's this guy's name. I Google him, and he's basically doing a pyramid scheme with health insurance, where it's like, you guys can start your own business.
Is it Primacare?
I don't remember.
Oh.
It was one guy though. Like it was one guy. He had his own company, and he was like recruiting people in, of course.
Yeah.
And they have to buy his $700 course and get accredited to then open up their own business. And it's like that kind of pyramid scheme where it's like
An MLM.
Exactly, multi-level marketing, a pyramid scheme basically,
Pyramid
where it's
scheme.
like, if you come in here, you give me money, I'll teach
What?
you how
That's
to
a
open your own
pyramid
business.
scheme with extra steps.
Exactly, dude. It was terrible, and I was like breaking it down for him. He's like, no, but you know, it doesn't really. And I was like, do you guys get money off referrals and stuff like that? He was like, well, no, but it is encouraged. And I was like, it's encouraged, and you don't even get money off that. Go to Amway if you want to get a better pyramid
Yeah,
scheme,
honestly.
right? And he's like, oh, but he had like Kobe Bryant, he had George W. Bush. And I was like, really? And so I look it up. He had Kobe Bryant, George W. Bush, some other Jordan Peterson. He had Jordan Peterson.
Jordan Peterson's trash. We already know
Grifter.
this.
Grifter, right?
Dude, he you know he the reason he's popular isn't because he was intelligent.
It's just because the red pill stuff that he
No,
says.
not even that. Not even that.
Incels locked onto that. What do you mean?
Yes, but that's not why he got popular.
Why?
He got popular because he specifically lied about a trans bill that was happening in Canada. He was there was a I think it's called like 16 or Bill 16 or something like that, and basically it was like adding the same protections to trans people as like black and like gay people already have, like
Treating them like humans.
treating them like humans basically.
And he goes, no, they're not humans.
They're not humans. You have to understand that the subconscious mother.
The mind doesn't work that
yeah.
way. Men are doing impossible things.
Oh, fucking Nazi. Anyways, no, and that's why, because he specifically spread lies about that. That's why he was popular. It wasn't because he was
When was
intelligent.
that?
It was like way back when, like
This is the
2016,
this is the
2017.
first
I don't
I'm
know
hearing about
exactly.
this.
Like I don't know it off the top of my head exactly, but he was basically lying about the bill that they were passing, and that shot him up into popularity because all the incels were like, "Yeah, trans people aren't people."
Because I remember he used to do self-help stuff before that, and that's like how he was like gaining steam. He was like, oh, you got to work on yourself. You've got to do this in your life. You got to focus on your life. You want to have a wife. You want to have blah, blah, blah. It was like a men's self-help kind of thing, right?
Oh, yeah.
But it then gets co-opted and then degraded into like anti-trans, super right-wing stuff.
Yeah,
Basically,
no, but he
a
started
Nazi.
anti-trans.
He did?
Yeah, he started anti-trans. Like that's the thing. That's the thing. Like,
I don't know if he started it.
Yeah,
but
I mean
mean-
that's why he got popular
But
because
I'm
he
saying-
had anti-trans rhetoric.
there's a huge movement before that already. Like, you know, it's
Oh
not
no,
like-
he didn't start the anti-trans.
Okay,
movement. That's
okay,
not what I
that's-
wanted to imply.
okay.
But he got his start by being anti-trans.
Okay.
Like-
His,
like-
he blew up.
Yes, he blew up because he's anti-trans.
Gotcha.
Like, and he's anti-trans in that way where you can't, like, it's hard to convince other people he's anti-trans because, not because he isn't anti-trans, but because he tries to coat his language in ways that don't seem directly offensive.
Yeah, because he's not specifically saying don't like trans people.
Yeah.
But he goes, the traditional way of living is one we've got to get back to, and it's like,
Yeah.
what do you mean get back to?
Back
like
to-
what?
Yeah, like what?
Yeah, let me go churn some butter in my barn while my 4 wives have
Yeah.
30 kids, and then we'll go visit Jebediah. Like,
Yeah, like what?
what are
The
you
fuck?
saying, man? I know. I'm
Like,
over here.
No, thank you. I kind of like my internet. Thank you very much.
Exactly.
You know,
Do you know how much?
unless you're gonna make me
anime-
a king in 300 years, 300 years ago.
Exactly.
you know,
chances are I will not be, because there was like one king
One
for
king,
every country
yeah.
or some shit like,
like
that. Exactly. Like, you're not, just because you're like, oh, I have Jack in the Box at 2 a.m. here. It's like, yeah, well, you can go eat that over the sink while you're crying to yourself, you know? But it only costs $6. So it's fine.
Yeah,
It's fine, guys.
yeah.
It's fine.
It's fine,
The
it's
crushing
fine.
weight of capitalism made it so that fast food is cheap for you.
Exactly. You know what's funny? I recently learned that one of the reasons why we're so big in, like, America itself is so big into how do you call it, into like fast food and like the obesity epidemic and stuff is the way these companies really got their like takeoff was because the government was like heavily supporting this type of thing post World War II because of the threat of World War III, and so they wanted like big, like heavy and muscular like men and women. So
Fill
that,
them up with protein. Burgers, the American way.
yeah, exactly.
Crazy.
Because then, in case World War III happened, they didn't want to get caught up like how they did in World War II, where they, just barely, like, the women barely took over like the factory jobs.
I was gonna say, because to be fair, I mean, that was like, there was basically the Great Depression before
Yeah.
World War II, and then World War II gave everyone the prosperity. Like,
Yeah.
as awful as it is,
It did bring
nothing makes money
prosperity.
like war.
Yeah.
It's fucked up.
And that's why people get caught up into conspiracy theories. Like my dad is like big onto this like conspiracy theory where it's like, oh, World War II didn't actually happen, because of Hitler and stuff like that. It happened because people like Ford wanted to instigate it because they were selling arms to both sides, which they do have an incentive to do. But I mean, I'm not sure if that's
Bring them up and let's listen.
Let's go. Let's listen to his conspiracy.
Let's find
theories
what
right
the
now.
alternate history has to tell us. Like when Trump said alternate facts.
Oh, dude.
But point is,
Anyways,
Jordan Peterson, right?
Jordan
And
Peterson,
all
piece
these
of shit.
quote unquote legitimate people for the guy's business, and I looked it up. They actually Kobe, former war criminal, well, still a war criminal, but former President George W. Bush and Jordan Peterson, they all appeared at like a panel and were like, yeah, this is a company that we stand for and we have stakes in. And there was an the only article I found was, it's very damaging when large celebrities come out and make MLMs look legitimate. And it was like that kind of stuff. And of course, like the press release that they have, right? But the thing that was really fishy was that this guy didn't have like a Wikipedia page. You know how usually with like entrepreneurs, like, even like even the classic grifters like Gary Vee and like the other self-help people, the self-help gurus, they'll usually have a Wikipedia page with like, where they started, their family, if anything happened.
Dan Locke, stuff like that.
Exactly,
They all
things
have.
like that. And this guy didn't have a Wikipedia page.
That sucks.
He had a Wikipedia page on a custom investor wiki, which, of course, it's not like
Wikipedia.
It's-
It's not.
exactly.
It's not sourced. It's not vetted.
It's not unbiased. The people who vet it is probably him. He's the moderator of his page.
Yeah.
Stuff like that, right? So that was the other fishy thing. Because, usually when you have like Amway has its Wikipedia page and it says very clearly MLM pyramid scheme accusations and then all the lawsuits that have been won against them. and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Yeah.
you know?
All that shit.
All of the what am I trying to say? All of the, not conspiracies, all of the, like, when something's bad, scandals,
Scams? No. Issues?
Mm.
I mean, I guess, but
Yeah. Like, let's just say scandals. Like,
scandals.
Wikipedia usually lists the controversies.
Yeah, there we go.
Any controversial things
Controversies.
Wikipedia will have on there because it's just facts. It's
Yeah.
like, as reported by the New York Times, Ryan Kavanaugh was accused of a pyramid scheme by former investors, right? Things like that. And it's factual things that are reported by credible news sources.
Yeah.
And yet someone can just go, I don't like that on my page. I don't like the rape accusations. I'm gonna take that off my custom wiki. But you can't do that on Wikipedia.
Yeah, you can't
because
do
you'll get in
that.
trouble.
Yeah.
Like this guy Ryan Kavanaugh, huge piece of shit. He kind of looks like Harvey Weinstein, but like, I don't want to say a younger version because they're both like grody, but he was like doing
They're all
that.
pieces of shit.
Yeah, he was getting in a lawsuit with H3 about that, basically, because H3 was going, wow, this guy Ryan Kavanaugh is a huge piece of shit, and Ryan Kavanaugh threatened him, so H3 doubled down and went. So not only did we find out Ryan Kavanaugh is a piece of shit, we also found out that, as reported by the New York Times, he was accused by former investors of running a Ponzi scheme. And then, as reported by, there's an article reported by Variety. Remember, I'm not saying any of this. I am simply repeating what is
Regurgitating what's-
reported
yeah.
by Variety, by the New York Times, by credible places.
H3.
Exactly. Like, and that's the thing. H3 never said it. He would always preface it by saying, as reported by Variety, as reported by New York Times. And then Ryan Kavanaugh sued him saying it's slander because you're saying it. And he's like, I'm never saying it. And so then H3 triples down and he goes, what a fucking piece of shit. They build a whole website saying, does Ryan Kavanaugh look like Harvey Weinstein? And you can see like the similarities and things like that. And then he sues him. He issued like 4 lawsuits, 2 of which have been thrown out. Ryan Kavanaugh sued him like 4 times. It was like for like they had an app called Triller, and that Triller app wasn't functioning well, and the app was falsely advertising. It said, we have Kevin Hart on our app. It literally said in the description. They took a screenshot of it. Kevin Hart was nowhere near that app, nowhere inside of the app. There was no way you could interact with him. And then a week after H3 says that, they take it away. But then Ryan Kavanaugh sues. I get them mixed up all the time.
Yeah, I mean, they're the same thing basically.
So Ryan Kavanaugh sues the H3 podcast, saying what they're saying against Triller is slanderous. It is not a bad app, and we are not falsely advertising. And the judge threw it out because they were like, one of your own influencers said this app is flipped because the camera didn't flip over. Like, there's this whole quote of the guy going, oh, it's so awkward. Like, Triller, you got to fix your shit. It's flipped. And it's this influencer who was paid by Triller to say this. He was paid by Triller to advertise, and what he ended up saying was, your shit is flipped. And so he's suing him because it's not flipped, and the judge threw it out saying, by admission of your own candidate, it is flipped. It's legally proven that Triller is flipped.
Damn.
And then on
so
top
it
of
sounds
that,
like legally speaking, Triller is shit.
Triller's flipped. Exactly.
Yeah.
You gotta fix your shit, Triller. But
God damn it.
It's a terrible app, right? This guy's been grifting, and he said he wanted to have sexual relations with an underage, at the time 14-year-old Natalie Portman, and he's like, oh, had too much wine, and he tried to play it off as a joke, and like no one was laughing.
What?
Right? This guy's fucking insane. He's like, I'm a producer who helped kickstart the MCU, and it's like he bankrolled like Iron Man 1. That was it. Like, I mean, not like him.
I mean, it's
himself.
not like he did it because like he saw a great
knew.
project. No,
he just gave a chance to Iron Man 1 because he already had Daddy's hedge fund money, and
Yeah.
like he bankrupted several companies. All these controversies.
Yeah.
So they list those controversies on Wikipedia, and he gets into an argument. Ryan Kavanaugh, because the username was like RK something.
Yeah.
Right, RK10 or whatever. It's like Ryan Kavanaugh, RK. He starts saying like, this guy's this is not true. You've got to take it off the Wikipedia page. And the Wikipedia mods, unbiased ones, of course, they go, this was actually reported, so we're gonna keep it there. They're like, this is slander. I'm gonna sue you. He tries to sue anonymous Wikipedia editors. Like, what are you, fucking insane? Like, you dumbass.
There's a reason why dude.
He's a rich boy with daddy's money who thinks he can do whatever he wants, and now H3 is dragging him through it, going, you cannot be. And now because H3 won the injunction, he can countersue for all the legal costs. On top of that,
H3 is so based.
Honestly,
so fucking
shit.
Based.
He's based in reality.
Ethan Klein's,
He's
dude,
not
fucking
delusional.
Based.
Yeah.
Fucking based this out. Honestly, Chad move. Like big Chad.
He's got big dick energy.
Yeah, big dick energy.
Even if he doesn't have one.
H3. Dick or no dick, big dick energy.
Exactly. And he was trying to also sue Teddy Fresh, saying that Teddy Fresh is not a legitimate company. It's being used as a shell to hide assets. And it's like, Teddy Fresh is his own clothing line. That's not even Ethan's. It's Hila's company.
Yeah.
Like, she's the CEO. She started that because of her designs, because of her, like,
her whole thing.
Yeah, she wanted to design clothes. She made her own clothing. She made her own high-end clothing line.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like Ethan going, all right, let's do this. It was literally her, like, idea and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to say, like, Ethan has 0% to do with it.
Oh,
but
no, yeah. Like, but part of the reason
say,
why it blew up was because she's on his podcast and his popularity.
Yeah.
But that's completely besides the point. That's like saying that, like, if I advertise my printing business here on this podcast and this podcast gets big,
it's
that,
like, oh, is it a shell company? It's like, no, it's not a shell company. It's a legitimate
an extra
company.
Business.
Exactly. Like, it's a business that you have on the side, but that you're still, like, doing business with. And she has this whole multi-million-dollar business. He's like, oh, it's a shell company. No, you fucking idiot. You obviously know nothing. Like, this is clothes that's, like, out in, like, fucking...
He's just salty that someone's more successful than him.
Basically, that hasn't bankrupted their own company. Who's actually happy with their life. Like, he was commenting on their Thanksgiving posts. Like... H3 was like,
how much of a no life do you have to be?
He was like, happy Thanksgiving, everybody. And he's like, Ethan, I hope you watch out yourself on today and blah blah. And like, dumbest shit. And he was hiring people. He was putting bounties saying like, if anyone can give me credible information showing Ethan Klein lying or showing dirt on Ethan Klein, I'll give you $20,000 and things like that. And people would message him being like, hey, I have some information. And he's like, question mark? Hope you're not a troll. He's like, yeah, it's pretty pertinent to the case and stuff like that. He's like, okay, well, what do you got so far? And the guy just sent him a picture of Ethan's ass, basically, because Ethan posed like naked, and it was the funniest shit ever. My God.
No joke. What I was thinking about was like, oh man, maybe I could collect on that bounty by like photoshopping like actual shit on like Ethan Klein's face or something, and just sending him.
Be like, I have the dirt on him, or just like make I
have some shit on him, and then literally just like the poop emoji on like Ethan Klein's like face. Just here you go.
It was the funniest shit ever. And then he has like paid bots and stuff like that on his Instagram too, because they literally saw him posting something. So the H3 podcast was live, right? And they saw him post something. And then on that something, I forgot what the post was, right? But like he's like, oh my God, we're like first here. It was like posted like a minute ago. And then like 5 minutes go by, and then immediately 1,200 likes and stuff like that. Like clockwork. Like he was refreshing it to check, and then like clockwork, and then some like comments that are really similar where it's like, man, I hope Ethan goes down, your business is fire, can't wait. Next comment, man, I hope Ethan goes down, your business is pretty good. Next comment, your business is pretty good, man, I hope Ethan goes down. Like just like copy
generic
paste,
same like, copy
you're
pastas.
doing good, blah blah blah. Like just bots, very obviously paid bots,
ball licking bots,
exactly. And he was accusing BLB's ball licking bots. That's the name of the episode, ball licking bots. Write that down. And so he tells them, he accuses Ethan Klein, saying like, Ethan Klein actually has a bunch of paid bots and paid actors commenting, when it's just people from the H3 like fandom going, hey Ryan, you're a fucking loser. Like he's gonna be like, he's gonna come out after us and be like, the Brook Till Friday podcast was actually paid extension of the H3 podcast, and it's like, we've had 97 episodes already. Fuck off,
Fuck off. Yeah, like we get like half a view every time we upload an episode. Like
exactly.
Come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
But yeah, I mean, it was just the dumbest shit ever.
Dude, okay, so you mentioned how he's like rich, right? Like he has this like daddy's hedge
money.
fund.
Yeah.
Like I feel like people like that. You know why? I think. How do I say this? How do I say this without killing myself?
Say it anyway.
Like people like that do that because they do it. Like they do it, and they assume everyone else, by extension, has to be the same way they are. Like they can't conceptualize that other people might like be genuinely like from what you told me. I don't know too much about the situation, obviously, but from what you told me, he kind of sounds like one of these people that like whatever he does, he assumes other people are doing it as well. Yeah, he's projecting it onto other people because he can't conceptualize that someone else could have different reasons for doing the stuff that they do. Like he can't conceptualize that like Ethan doesn't need to pay for bots to do that sort of thing. Like
because he just has a fandom.
Yeah, he just has a fandom, but he thinks like, oh, I have to do it, and no one can be necessarily be better than me.
There's no
like
other
this.
idea.
Yeah. So they have to be doing the bots as well. So it's just
if
like
I'm
an exchange.
doing it, he's doing it.
Yeah. It's like duh.
One way thinking of projection.
Yeah. Like that's honestly what I think is like going on through this. Like he's so like he's so narcissistic that he can't conceptualize that someone else might just be better than him.
Yeah. And he posted on Instagram another thing. He posted like a 10-year-old article about himself saying like, Ryan Kavanaugh, the next great producer, and it's like, this is the first you're hearing of him, right? No fucking clue who he was before him being a dumbass on the H3.
Low fucking key. When you first said Rent Kavanaugh or whatever his stupid name is, I thought I legitimately thought you said Brett Kavanaugh, or you misspoke and meant Brett Kavanaugh, the Supreme Court justice.
Right?
And I was like, really? Then why would they ever let him on the Supreme Court? That's such a bad move.
He's the more famous Kavanaugh with sexual assault allegations.
Yeah, sexual assault. We don't know if MLM. To be fair, we don't know if he's ever been involved in it.
But maybe.
Mayhaps.
Mayhaps.
We're not siding with anyone here. We're just saying we don't know. We're just asking questions.
We're just asking questions. We're just asking
We're just asking questions.
people.
We're
Okay?
just asking questions.
Remember.
Has Brent Kavanaugh been a part of a multi-level marketing pyramid scheme that endangers the lives of other people? We're just asking
We're
questions.
just asking questions.
Just
you
asking
know?
questions.
The kind of questions we ask here.
Yeah.
Same ones.
Same ones.
Has Jeff
Hard-hitting
Bezos
questions.
Exactly. Has Jeff Bezos paid someone in Milan to murder a child?
Yeah.
Who knows?
And bring their blood back, and consistently consume blood to sustain themselves.
He 100% has blood boys. 100%. Have you
Really?
heard of blood boys?
No, what is that?
So blood boys are like young, fit guys, like under 25. I want to say, with the same blood type. So they just do blood transfusions over and over again because they think that's gonna keep them young.
What?
I'll bet you, Jeff Bezos' net worth. He has a blood boy.
What?
Or blood boys. He's a fucking billionaire.
All right,
So
Jeff
he's like,
Bezos, don't fail me now. I
I
need to
gotta-
become rich. Make sure you're not doing that so that
Exactly.
so that I
I
can
know.
get paid.
So Bezos, if you win, you get my Amazon account. That's it. That's all
it.
you get.
That's it. That's all you get.
And if I win, that's how you know how confident I am in this. I'm so confident that he has blood boys that let's see.
I wouldn't doubt it. Like looking at him, I wouldn't
gonna
doubt
do?
it. I wouldn't doubt it.
I will give you my firstborn child. Okay, my firstborn child. You
Once
can come
he's
back.
over 18, under 25.
Exactly,
Make sure
exactly.
he's
If you don't have any blood boys, my child will become your blood boy. Okay.
yeah,
I'm telling you that right now. That is a fact.
sealed in blood.
Sealed in blood. Sealed in blood and cum.
Yeah, which is the same thing basically. You ejaculate a little bit of red. Paints it.
Isn't this supposed to be red?
All right. I thought it was purple.
I think you squeezed your nuts too hard.
Oh fuck.
Made some grape jelly, dude. My legs hurt. I'm feeling like the inner stomach pain of it. So
They're just like shooting up, like come out
Honestly?
through your mouth. Anyway,
So, Bezos, you've got blood boys. So yeah, I'm pretty sure he has blood boys.
yeah,
that
yeah.
sounds like
I wouldn't doubt it, honestly. I wouldn't doubt it if he kidnapped some like Vietnamese like 19 or 20-year-olds and like brought them back and hold them in his.
He doesn't have to kidnap them. That's the best part.
He just pays them, and
They're interns, and you can be like, yeah, I interned for Jeff Bezos.
they consented. They
Exactly.
consented based on an unequal relationship. Oh, no, that's
Exactly.
so bad. No.
Every time it's like there was a power
Manufactured
dynamic. Blah,
consent.
blah, blah. Manufactured consent.
That's what it's
exactly.
called.
If consent could be manufactured, it'd be $2.99.
And Jeff Bezos would sell it on Amazon.
Exactly. New Amazon Basics consent from Amazon. You ever had a girl over and she's just not cooperating?
No.
Well, order some $2.99 free Prime shipping. Amazon Basics consent. But babe, I don't know if I want to go that far. Babe, I've got the Amazon consent.
Jeff Bezos. Oh my gosh.
What is this? It's actually 100% Rofinol, otherwise known as a roofie. Oh. That's a good sketch. We should do that.
Yeah, that's a good.
I'm gonna write that down.
Yeah, write that down. Jot that down. Jot that down, Timmy.
We have it jotted down. We're filming it right now. Filming from inside an Amazon warehouse. That's what the background has been.
Jeff
this entire
Bezos is
time.
now our overlord.
He's gonna sneak in one of the corners.
No.
Oh God. Amazon Basics Broke Till Friday podcast. Just follow along. This is all one fucking commercial for them.
Honestly,
Bastards.
dude, it is kind of like we make fun of it, but it is kind of dystopic how much control Amazon can and probably will get in the near future.
That it's been proven that most of Amazon Basic stuff is just ripped off of previous sellers. Like they'll go, okay, here, fucking let's just for the hypothetical stapler, right? I
Yeah.
have this high quality stapler. Then Amazon Basics comes out. Amazon Basics stapler looks exactly the same, just says Amazon Basics on it, but for $2 less. People keep buying it. The other one goes out of business. Then they raise the price up to $4 more, which is $2 above the previous price.
Yeah.
Happens all the fucking time. That's why you got to use Camel. Camel's an extension. We're not supported by them, unfortunately.
No,
Forget
sadly.
your free advertising though, just because
Yeah.
fuck Amazon.
Yeah, fuck Amazon. honestly.
It's a free web extension that shows you the price range of let's the price history of things. So it'll tell you like, hey, this monitor is $299 and then it's on sale for $259. But then you look at the prices and it goes, this monitor is usually $259. They just jacked up the price the week before and then jacked it down again. So that's the illusion of it. That's why, like we were saying, the whole Black Friday thing is mostly a scam. There's like 99% of deals.
Yeah,
It was
it's
a
just like
fucking
raised
99%
prices.
deals. It's
Yeah.
not even a real deal.
Yeah.
Especially because I work in electronics, sitting there watching the TVs stay the same price, and then they just go Black Friday on it, and people are like, I need a new TV. Woo! I told you, like that was your TV was the only deal.
Yeah.
A 65-inch smart TV for $299.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
I think so. That's the only
That's
one
a
that
really
counted.
good deal. Yeah. No,
Yeah.
we get our use out of it. So,
Exactly.
you know,
How's it been?
it's been good. It's been good. Like I hooked up the PS4 to it, and I've tried to get my dad to play games.
You try to
pretty
play
funny.
God of War and stuff
Yeah.
or what? That's funny.
It's pretty funny. Not gonna lie. It's complicated. Like he doesn't understand how a controller works. So.
Yeah. I mean, I remember trying to teach my dad Yu-Gi-Oh when I was a kid. And
Yeah,
I was
me
like,
too.
here, you gotta do this, and he was like, and I was like, no, you can't do that. He's like, what? And I'm like, listen. But I mean,
Entiende.
yeah. I mean, I feel like Yu-Gi-Oh's pretty hard to get into
It
if you
is.
don't know any card
Yeah,
games.
if you don't know any card games.
Like if you know Pokemon or something. Like I mean, Pokemon has the lowest skill
easiest
floor.
one,
Yeah,
yeah.
lowest skill
Yeah,
floor because it literally
definitely.
tells you you hold 7 cards, you have 1 Pokemon out, you have like 5 on your bench, and I don't know how many you can put the whatever the limit is on the bench, but you have 6 prize cards because the 6
Yeah.
prize cards are your 6 Pokemon getting knocked out or whatever, right? So the prize cards, 6 Pokemon knocked out, boom, they win, right? The opponent wins or
Yeah,
whatever. But
yeah.
it's pretty simple because there's not like any like, oh, okay, and then I got a quick summon or like negate, and it's just like Pokemon attack, a counter.
Yeah, there's no real counters.
Attack, yeah, like
consistent counters. What I mean is
Yeah.
like interactions between different cards, like an infinite times.
yeah, it's
Like
just like
you don't really
attack,
get a
defend,
situation
attack,
where like
defend.
oh, I have these 2 cards in the
You've
field.
activated my trap. There's
Yeah,
none of that.
Yeah, no. It's like oh, I have these 2 enchantments out on the field. I'm gonna hit you for 1 and win the game.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Because like there's like
a lot
basically like
simpler.
infinite combos in Magic too. So
Mhm.
like I feel like it goes Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, Magic.
and then whatever that other card game was
I don't know
called
any other
that-
card games. To be
There,
honest.
there was this other
Duel
It
Masters.
was like Vanguard or something.
Oh, Vanguard. Yeah. I know which
Remember
one.
that card
It's the
game?
one that's like based off of anime characters.
Is it?
Yeah, like
Okay.
they it's basically like anime characters, like Naruto or whatever.
Mhm.
But actually not Naruto because like that stuff's too big. But like
Yeah.
other animes that
Obscure
are like
anime
obscure
characters.
animes, like Nisekoi or something.
No, I remember I had like
Yeah.
a bunch of cards in there, and I was selling them in a Yu-Gi-Oh tin, and then in a yard sale. And it was funny that little kids were looking at it like, whoa, that's so many cards, right? And I was like, yeah, it's like $50 or whatever. And they're like, mom, can we get it? It's $50. And the mom was like, yeah, and then $50. And they went home with it. And then I wonder what their disappointment was when they saw it was all
Yeah.
Vanguard cards, because it was in a Yu-Gi-Oh tin. So, oops, I shouldn't have sold that
Oops.
tin though. It was a Kaiba,
good
it was
tin.
a Kaiba tin.
Kaiba
Yeah, I
tin,
just sold it
yeah.
because I was like, yeah, it's whatever. But it was a
No, I keep all my tins.
Nice
Like I
tin.
have them filled with cards right now, and I gotta like dust them and clean them and stuff because I don't want them to get moldy and stuff. So every so often I'll.
moldy. How much moisture you got up here?
No, you can still get. Well, I mean the walls are covered in cum, so you know that
That's fair.
intrinsically, you know.
This
Why
is
do you think
actually
they're so white?
an aquarium
Yeah,
at this point.
at this point.
Your room is
We're
legally
floating in it. It's Jello.
it's legally an aquarium.
It's legally a Jello.
Non-Newtonian fluid.
There we
If
go.
you smack it too hard, you get stuck. But if you still move around and if you move slowly,
Yeah.
anyway,
Anyway.
how
How
You
do you
always
call
get
it?
sidetracked with
No,
cum
'cause-
stories.
well, it is a little bit of paranoia because I saw this one Reddit post. I don't know when, like forever fucking ago, I think. I'm not honestly, I'm not even sure if it was on Reddit, but I remember seeing this image of like someone like being all sad because like their cards, like they just left them there for a couple of years, and like all that when they went to go like get back into it because you know they were done with whatever, they opened it and it was just, like green on the side.
That's
I was like,
terrible.
oh no.
Couldn't you just put them in card protectors or something? I mean,
I
wouldn't
get,
that
yeah,
work?
but when you have like 200 cards,
Yeah, you have them in like a shoebox in the back of the
Yeah.
closet, and then it's like, oh, they're gone.
yeah, it's like no.
I guess because it only takes a little bit of moisture to start it, and then that's
Yeah, and then
they're
it
dead.
spreads,
GG.
it grows.
GG.
Yeah. No, so like I'll take them out every so often, count them, you know, like move them around, make sure that they're not moldy.
You're a professional card counter, huh? Time to hit up Vegas.
Always.
I was watching a video actually on card counters, and it's the funniest thing ever because they'll see them, and they're like, yeah, he's betting high here, he's betting low, and then he's betting high, and the guy's like, so. Here's what's gonna happen, man. You can jump into the sleeve or the shoe. I said the sleeve. You can jump into the shoe, but you gotta keep your bet the same the whole shoe. You bet $5, you're gonna bet $5. You bet $200, you're betting $200 every hand in the shoe. And the guy's like, well, that's not fair. Why are you making me play by different rules? He's like, because I know what you're doing. I know what you're doing. He's like, well, I'm just playing the game.
Yeah.
It's not illegal. It's just they don't like to lose, right? But yeah, like he would jump in when the shoe is good, and then not take a hand when whenever it's bad.
Look,
and he's playing with like 2 hands and stuff
I have
like that.
very strong opinions about casinos as well.
Scams?
I have have strong opinions on a lot of things, but like right now we're talking about casinos.
Mm-hmm.
I do think that in the way that they're practiced here in America, or at least I guess everywhere else in the world, because by extension,
Mm-hmm.
I generally don't think that there's a difference between the way that they like, to my knowledge,
Mm-hmm.
I don't think there's a significant difference between the way that they're run here in America and where they're run in other countries. But either you have to make it so that I personally believe, my personal opinion, not
Mm-hmm.
based in scientific data or anything, this
Mm-hmm.
is exactly my personal opinion. Casinos should either be illegal or they should not be allowed to discriminate against card counting and things like poker.
Because it's a skill.
It's a skill.
It's
And-
really hard to do. It's not like you can just like, oh, I'm gonna bring a calculator. No.
No.
It's hard.
It's really hard. So I think if the casino wants to maintain operation, like honestly, I don't think they should be illegal at all. I would not prefer that option because then it would just go underground. I think that it should be illegal to stop card counting from people, to throw someone out for card counting, to ban someone from a casino for card counting.
But that's the other thing, because since technically they're private property, they can kick you out for anything. Like they can just be like, yeah, you're not allowed to cash out your chips anymore or something like that. And it's
Yeah.
like, what the fuck? Like it's
Yeah, but there's like I don't know, like we restrict other businesses from doing other things. I feel like
Regulation.
That's regulation. I feel like setting up some sort of regulation like that.
But if casinos regulated, then they would never make money. Like the only reason
then
they're
they'd go away.
profitable,
Yeah.
then the business model would die out.
Yeah,
Hey.
that's why.
Hey,
Like,
capitalism, baby.
Here's the thing. I hate capitalism, but as long as we're functioning under a system of capitalism, I feel like we should incentivize things that will benefit the general population. If this sort of thing, if allowing card counting would destroy casinos, I feel like that's
That's casino's
if you
fault.
if being ethical forces you to be to go out of business, I feel like that's just kind of your fault.
Yeah, then the business shouldn't have survived in the first place.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know. It's not going to eliminate casinos. There's still going to be a market for them. People still going to want to gamble.
The slot machines. There's a
slot
bunch of other
machines.
games. We're talking about like one game, which is just poker. There's
Poker.
so many other games.
Yeah, there's so many other games that's going to keep them afloat. But I really do think that that's like the minimum amount of regulation that we should impose on them, so like that they take it, because like it is a business risk, and it has, like, we don't allow other, well, we kind of do, but that's besides the point here in America. But like generally speaking, other businesses aren't allowed to like offset their risk that way, where they just don't interact with like the market.
Yeah.
If a competitor opens up across the street, they can't just say, no, you're not allowed in the city.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
I mean, that happens all the time, actually. Because remember, we were going to have a Costco here.
Yeah.
And then bribes and shit happen to the city, and then they're like, you're not going to have the Costco anymore. Now they're putting a Target or something.
Yeah, no, I know it happens, but
Yeah,
in
it shouldn't.
principle, it's not
Should.
supposed to be happening.
Yeah.
And I just feel like casinos should be at least held to that minimum standard that we hold other businesses to. I really do feel like restricting people who are good at the game from playing is a non-capitalistic device within a capitalistic framework, which inherently disadvantages other people from entering.
Yeah, like, do you think the professional blackjack people aren't card counting? Like,
Yeah,
come on.
yeah.
Of course they're going to be doing it, because that's the optimal strategy to win when you're betting potentially millions of dollars in the jackpot pool.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's like ridiculous. Oh, that guy's too good at soccer. He's not going to be able to play anymore.
Yeah.
What do you mean he's not going to be able to play? He's good at soccer because he's practiced it. He's learned how to play the game. And just because you're mad that now he knows how to play the game,
Yeah.
rather than just being like, I'm going to just kick the ball, and if it goes somewhere, it goes somewhere. But if it doesn't, oh well. Like, that's how most people play the game.
It's kind of like if the NFL had like a NFL team in the sport, and then like they're like, oh, you're not allowed to pass from certain yards away.
Exactly.
It's like-
that's a perfect analogy. It's their own vested interest.
Yeah.
Because remember, you're not playing against the other players. You're playing against the house.
Yeah, you're playing against the house.
Almost always wins.
It just shouldn't be allowed.
Bullshit.
I honestly don't think that we should allow casinos to make those sorts of rules. I really
I know.
don't.
It's
They-
really stupid.
They can ban for other things, of course, but like specifically like based off of skill and stuff, they're gonna find ways around it.
Yeah.
But generally speaking, at the very least, we should hold the principle that they shouldn't do this.
Yeah. Because
I don't know,
imagine,
just
so
me.
let's say they can no longer kick him out. What other excuses could they come up with? Because you'd be like, oh, he was roughhousing or something. He's like, what do you mean? Prove it. Show me the cameras where I did it. Okay, I'm gonna keep playing, and then just keep card counting and stuff like
it's
that.
gonna make it harder, which is the point. It's gonna make it harder to kick someone out because they could always come up with it like, oh, you've been drinking too much. You have to get out.
And it's like, I haven't even had a drink in my hand.
Yeah.
Show me the drinks. Show me the cameras.
Show me the drinks.
Show me the fucking cameras.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. You know, or like you're wearing a hat I don't like, and it's like, okay, I'll burn the hat then.
Exactly. Yeah.
You
Like
know?
I don't need this hat or whatever.
Yeah.
It's just the dumbest stuff ever.
It's dumbest stuff. Like
That they would 100% come up with excuses
Yeah.
if it was like more well regulated and stuff.
yeah. So
Or they'd start like, well, you got to have a 2-drink minimum or something. So you get drunk and then you can't card count properly.
yeah,
And
exactly.
stuff like that. They'll find ways.
They'll find ways,
they always
but
find
but
ways.
it's the principle that I think is important. Honestly, it's the principle more than anything, because at the very least, it does restrict them a lot more. And
Can be so obvious with the card counting.
I mean,
and stuff.
like I don't know, considering that, like especially like I'm thinking like specifically Las Vegas, considering that. And don't get me wrong, I love me some Godfather 2, Godfather 1, but come on, we all know that the casinos in Las Vegas were funded by the mafia. Like they were started and created
Probably
by the
still
mafia. But just by like corporate mafias. They're not.
No,
they're not gangsters.
It's probably still the regular mafia, but just running shell corporations or stuff like that. You know,
maybe.
because how many like it's a cash business. So how many things do you think they're really reporting?
Well, it's not really a cash business anymore.
The penny slots and everything, it's still cash.
You put your card. Well, I mean, some penny slots, but like you put your card in there.
Well, I mean,
You can use your debit card.
I guess so.
What they do is that they if you're gonna play cash, they have you because it's more beneficial for the casino to have you play with your debit card, because it's harder to see the amount of money you're losing. That's why they use chips instead of actual cash.
Yeah.
That's why they use That's why if you're gonna use cash for like the slot machines, they have you put it inside of like a rewards card or something, because then you don't realize the amount of money you're losing.
That makes sense, because if you can see it, you're like, oh, it's gone. But you're like, I lost a little stack of chips. How much were those chips? $10,000. You're like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
'Cause
exactly.
Each chip was like $100, and you just like, oh, put it all on black or whatever.
or something. Yeah, and so yeah, it's really a place where you go in and you lose 30% of your money on average. That's all that happens in there. Like you go, you don't even really have fun in particular. You just lose 30%.
No.
It's the addiction more.
You probably win 30% of the time, but you've lost most of your money. Like,
no, you lose 30% of your money on average. That's the
On
average
average?
statistic. On average, you lose 30% of the money that you play with at a casino.
no, I don't know.
You don't lose 30% of the time. You'll get like infinite wins, but they're all like 1-cent wins. And then when you lose, you'll lose like $100.
I was gonna say like you don't have to win a lot to lose a lot. You know?
Yeah. It's the losses where you lose 30% of your money. You don't like,
or where you're like, oh, I lost 30 times in a row, but just one more time on this machine. I got it. I have a system.
and then
you
you
know?
win like flashing lights, like, and
It's
then
like,
you look at
$500. It's
Yeah.
like I lost $1,000 actually. It's
not even that. Like you're just like consistently losing it, and then you get one win, and it's like 40 cents.
and then dopamine rush hits you, and you're like, fuck it, I'll keep
Another
going.
one.
Oh yeah, basically.
You just become Thor and Thor one just
Another
one,
one.
and then they kick you out because you broke a machine.
Well, maybe they should have made the machine so easy to break.
Yeah.
If the machine wasn't dressed like that, maybe it wouldn't have asked for it. Okay. God, stupid sexy machines.
Now I'm just imagining like a random person with like a trench coat, like running into a casino and then filling all the casinos with like cum.
Oh,
Like they have just like a giant syringe, just.
I thought I was gonna flash the slot machines or something.
No.
The slot machine was flashing at me, so I had to flash back. You don't understand.
No,
You're seducing me.
I was just thinking like someone in like the 1940s, like, you know, when they have like the Tommy guns and shit.
Oh.
Like when they were
What's
owned
he
by
shooting?
when they were like directly owned by like the mafia.
Yeah.
And it's just like some random guy in trench coat, like, I'm gonna get my revenge on these fucking bastards for murdering my wife, and then just fills
Filling
the fucking
all
things
the
with
slot
cum.
machines with
Like,
cum. Jesus Christ, that's a comically large syringe.
yeah. Like I'm literally thinking about it like a graphic novel, like noir type story. Or like,
It was 1932. Just lost my dame. But you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go out there. I'm going to fill the place up with cum. The story of JFK you've never heard.
JFK in his younger years.
Exactly.
I need this comic now. I need
Now
an
we've gotta
artist to
make
get
it.
on this. Now we got to make it. Now we gotta
Everybody,
make it.
if you're still at this
If you're an artist, do it for
minute
free.
listening,
It'll
exactly.
get you great exposure.
Pro
Three people.
bono.
Three
Pro
people will see it.
bono. We got like 50 something views in the last one.
Oh,
so,
nice,
woo.
nice. Actually, 50 people will see it.
50 people will see your pro bono, cum noir, JFK semi autobiography.
We're getting there. We're getting there.
Hell
We're
yeah.
going. It's all
Hell
thanks to you,
The viewers.
the viewers.
Send in your loads of cum through the mail.
Yes.
Send a
We've
PO
said
box.
this before. At the like in our 5th episode, we asked you to bring in cums. Now we'll reveal all the cums that we.
Exactly. And you know how we'll do it? With a taste test. All right. So this one's actually it's a little gamey. I think this one's Joe Rogan's.
Yeah. Wait. Hold on.
It's a
This
little
would
bit like
go really
elk
well
meat.
with elk.
This would pair really well with some elk meat.
Some nice gravy on the side.
I think I know whose jisms this is. So
This the shimmy my jimmies. Oh, we could probably sell this for 10 mil.
exactly. Oh my god, how valuable do you think Joe Rogan's cum is?
Dude, I 100% believe some of his more hardcore fans will pay a significant amount of money for that, at least in the hundreds of thousands. Like I'm just thinking like how do you call it? Like other celebrities, like not even other celebrities. Like I'm thinking of like what's her face, the genius that fucking sold her bathwater.
Belle Delphine.
Belle Delphine selling her fucking bathwater just for like I don't fucking
So much fucking money.
so much fucking
So
money.
much money.
Like I'm just thinking that, like imagine like we had like a sample of Joe Rogan's like cum, like his fans would like have
Joe
bidding
Rogan's
wars.
100% genuine cum on eBay.
Like I'm pretty sure even if like I'm like this is how insane I think some of Joe Rogan's fans are, that like even if like we lied and put like a jar of like we got like I don't know something that looks like splooge and like put it there and said, oh, Joe Rogan splooge.
Hand soap. It could just be hand soap.
Yeah, hand
Most
soap.
hand soap looks like cum, and I
Yeah.
don't know why. I don't know why
That's
anyone's
weird.
talking about
Honestly,
this.
it's really weird. But like we could sell that for like 100K. I bet. Like this is how little I think of like a lot of the more extreme Joe Rogan fans.
Yeah.
Like I really don't hold their
Auctioning off.
their
They'll-
intelligence towards Joe Rogan in very high regard. I don't know if you can tell.
They'll try to pay me in an NFT, and I ain't no
Yeah.
fucking bozo. I'll tell you that much.
Dude, have you seen the latest scams, the NFTs? They're selling them
So
to
many.
themselves.
Yeah, they were selling it to themselves to pump up the prices to make it seem more valuable.
Yeah.
It's.
I mean,
oh.
that's how the NFT craze started. This
Yeah.
dude basically sold it to like a shell company that his friend owned, that was owned by him technically. It was like basically like a circle jerk.
Yeah.
They basically circle jerked their own NFT, and then it sold for like millions, and now everyone knows about NFT.
That's. I don't know.
Like
I
my
don't
aunt is trying to
understand.
create NFTs.
No fucking idea.
They
They're
serve no
not-
utility. Like
nothing.
here's the thing about
They're a
like, these
waste of
crypto things.
energy, waste on the blockchain.
What do you think the benefit of like Bitcoin is?
Nothing.
Nothing. It's a
just-
speculation market
it's
that isn't
speculation
really
market.
worth anything. Like it has no utility.
Yeah, and all the people that are doing mining and stuff are causing irreversible damage to the environment
Yeah.
because of all the energy wasted to create this artificial wealth where you're like, $5 a day, yeah, and it's like, well, realistically think of how those $5 a day are gonna like affect you in the long
Yeah.
run. Not just that the fact it's $5 a day, but the amount of electricity, the amount of like wear and tear, the like all the graphics cards people can't get just to play fucking video games and stuff like that, you know.
I don't know. Like I personally don't think like that if you're like trying to get in on the craze that you're particularly wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't think that like if you try to buy into it that you're in any sort of like really fault.
Yeah, no,
it's
'cause-
more like the people that are propagating it and trying to scam other people that I feel should be
Yeah.
held to account. Like if you're just like an average person like trying to sell your NFT,
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that you're in particular what's it called, culpability to the situation, in relation to the situation. But I mean, these scammers, I mean,
Yeah,
they've
it's
gotta
grifting.
be-
It's
they
grifting.
gotta- they
the
gotta
crypto bros,
do something.
the
Like,
NFT bros. Holy shit.
I don't know. Maybe I just watch too much like anti-scam like YouTube channels.
Too many sensible people.
Too many sensible. I follow too many sensible people on social
Yeah.
media that like now I'm just kind of like. I don't know. I guess disillusioned with like the ability for humans to do great things to other humans.
Yeah.
I take like the semi-doomer approach, where it's like, if I kind of default to the position of if it's too good to be true, it is. NFTs, too good to be true, so it is. Bitcoin, too good to be true, so it is.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I understand people like, oh, I threw in like $1,000 in Bitcoin, and it's like, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
But anyone who says you can get rich quick off Bitcoin yourself, those are 100% grifters, or the ones that say get rich quick off of this poop coin, the poop pipi caca coin. It's blowing up, people. It blows up because everyone buys into it. Then the one or two whales rug pull. Yeah, like Ice Poseidon. This just happened.
Oh, yes.
Ice
I know exactly what you're talking about. Dude, one of my favorite content creators,
Coffeezilla.
Yes.
Saw it.
Dude, fucking Ice Poseidon tried to claim that Coffeezilla gave him the seal of approval.
Stupid. And he was doubling down, tripling down. He was like, yeah, man, I made like $500,000, but like, you shouldn't expect. And it's like, basically, Ice Poseidon fucking rug pulled everyone. He's like, I made my own coin. It's a trustworthy coin. The second everyone started investing into it, he, the whale, pulled out. Rug pulled.
Yeah.
He made $500,000 off his stupid fans. Everyone else lost money. It's literally a fucking Ponzi scheme.
Yeah.
And then he went on to describe a Ponzi scheme as well, where he was like, yes, what we do is we get investors, and then like they bring in money, and then once you get enough money, we pay it back to the investors. Then we get other investors. Like, so you're describing a Ponzi scheme. You're describing a pyramid scheme. He's like, well, no, it's not exactly that. It's like he was literally word by word describing it. Coffeezilla, you the man.
Honestly, good work. GG's. And honestly, the only reason he didn't cover it earlier was because he was doing some like outing some other people.
Things. Yeah, there's so
there's so many. Like there's like an infinite amount of shady shit, and it's just like, it's like.
And we're here to bring you the non-shady news.
Yeah. Like I see these and I see the amount of money and I was like, man, I really do wish I was unethical sometimes.
Honestly, dude, I was like thinking, what I could 100%, let's say, if I worked at a big box retailer, right, I could 100% list valuable collectibles on eBay and then not even have to buy them. Not even have to buy them until they're sold. So that way I have no money put into it. So you know what I mean, right? Like, okay, let's say I see some valuable Funko Pops or whatever, right? Because people go insane and foaming at the mouth for them. Or even just fucking Hot Wheels, right? I take all the Hot Wheels off the floor. I hide them somewhere, and I wipe them off the floor so that they don't show as sold.
Yeah.
I list them on eBay. Someone finally buys it at an inflated price. So I go, okay, that one's sold. So then I proceed to actually buy it.
Yeah.
So there's no risk involved. That's like the perfect unethical thing you could do.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I wish I could be more of a piece of shit sometimes.
Honestly, yeah, because that really is like kind of fucking shitty. And like, dude, if I was unethical, that's what I would do. Honestly,
100%. Like
100%. I'd get just listings on eBay. Like with the PS5s, like I'd go to like a distribution center that I'd get a job at a distribution center that handles the PS5 things, and I just.
No, honestly, dude, you could just fucking apply it like Walmart. And then the day they come in, buy them all, quit. What are they gonna fucking do? They can't do anything. You already purchased them. They are legally yours.
Quit.
Yeah, like Oh, that was one thing I was saying. Like, if I ever win the lottery, I'm probably not gonna quit my job. I'm just gonna wait until one day a huge shipment of PS5s come in, and I'm gonna buy all of them, and then I'm gonna put them on OfferUp. Right? I'm gonna put them on OfferUp in Spanish, and I'm gonna put them for the same price, for $500, just MSRP. And then since I'm gonna be like a girl on Tinder, my inbox will be flooded, and I'll be checking out and being like, okay, oh, this lady's profile has kids. Okay, boom.
Yeah.
And this one, okay, is doing this. Okay, and not just like the guys who go, oh, will you trade for like a pair of like J's or something? It's like, no, fuck you, like,
yeah.
I'm gonna look for people that deserve it, basically.
People that actually like wanted to use and stuff like that.
And because I'm a millionaire, who cares if I lose $50 on each one? Because it's $550 after tax, but I'm selling them for just $500
for MSRP.
Exactly. Yeah. I would then buy all of the bots online, so I can keep buying all of them and then sell them to legitimate people on online.
It's like. I don't know, like the reason why I hate capitalism so much is that you have to rely on something like that. Like it's basically like the old like, well, if you live under a good king, you'll have a good life.
Exactly. It's like would just be born lucky, loser.
Yeah, you're relying on the generosity of another person in order to be able to sustain yourself. That's what capitalism is, honestly. It's like. It really is just a modern day version of like, oh, if you have a good king, you're gonna have a good life. If you have a bad king, you're gonna have a bad life.
Or if you're an indentured servant with a good family, you'll have a good life.
Yeah.
I mean, we're all basically indentured servants to capitalism.
Yeah.
So where we are like, okay, I'm technically a wage slave. No, you have choices. Just move to a cheaper state of
With
living.
what money?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
What
with what
fucking? I
money?
can't uproot my entire fucking
Yeah.
life and just move somewhere. What if I don't even have get a house over there? What if there's nowhere to like pay rent and stuff like?
What if my skills aren't available in that lower income job? But
Exactly.
the only place I could afford with that lower income job is in those moderate in those areas. It's like
Yeah.
you're stuck in a catch-22.
Yeah.
There's nothing you can do. And okay, so earlier in the podcast I was telling you about the Doomer Media thing. Like
Yeah.
this is the exact thing that he was arguing. It's not really worth bringing up here, but I don't know. It's just so closely related. Where he was basically just like saying, like, oh yeah, if right now I became homeless, in 3 months I would be back on my feet. It's like, okay, my dude.
Yeah,
Okay,
sure.
sure, pal.
Sure.
Like I love me some isekai manga.
Well, actually, wait. That probably just means he has a support system that would be able to get him back on his feet.
Yes.
It's like I'm homeless tomorrow, and then I'll just talk to my cousins or someone else who has money and or like whatever.
But
prop
he
themselves back up.
implied that he like
He would do it all
that's what I'm
himself.
assuming. Yeah, he implied that he would do it by himself with
No
no
bootstraps.
assistance, no bootstrap.
Yeah, fucking right. It's the Ben Shapiro argument.
Yeah.
If hypothetically I put this impossible scenario in front of you and then attacked your argument, but didn't actually attacked you, but not attacked your actual argument, would you be able to argue against me even though you are a child? No. Okay then. Then I think that means that you are wrong and facts and logic wins, liberal. You know.
Fucking dumb shit. Like, dude, did you see that reminds me. Did you see fucking Ben Shapiro get fucking destroyed by like a 1-year-old?
A 1-year-old.
Not literally a 1-year-old. It was like this like toddler kid, and like he's like they're trying to explain that like shit, and he's like government is a thing that just takes your taxes and doesn't give you anything. And then the little kid was like, that's a fucking lie. Just it's straight to his face. Like, well, no, and like he started like stuttering and shit.
Yeah. So backtracking. All right, it's the dumbest thing
It was
ever.
hilarious.
Anytime I see someone going like the government's just taking my taxes, doing nothing with them, it's like two sides to this, right? First of all, you're driving on public roads, you're driving on you're using public schools. You want a private firefighter? Fuck you then. Go burn in your own house by yourself.
Yeah.
No firefighters come save you.
We used to have
No.
a private firefighter thing here in America. We
Exactly.
stopped doing that because it
Literally.
was inefficient.
Exactly. Like there'd be
Ah.
firefighter brigades or volunteer ones, and it's like, no, now you have like legitimate ones that are public services for the welfare of the people.
Yeah.
People, you Republicans hear welfare and they're like, no, welfare, that's bad stuff. It's bad stuff. It's like, no. Welfare just means people are going to fare well during times of crisis. That's
Yeah.
literally just what it means. It's like everyone's general well-being is good. But Republicans go, no, I've had mine. Now you go get yours. And on top of that, it's like the other half is like, I understand that you don't like the government. I also don't like the government because I would rather have my tax dollars instead of drone striking little kids over Middle Eastern little kids. I'd rather have them like with healthcare and stuff. It's like, how much does it cost to stop bombing little kids? Like there was a fucking report, I think like a couple of weeks ago, where last year they revealed the drone strike that they thought was like the hiding place of ISIS or whatever. They thought the hiding place wasn't actually a hiding place, and like 10 people died, including 8 kids. And
That's why I
was
hate
like,
Democrats too.
holy
This
shit.
is why I fucking hate Democrats. Like it's we've mentioned this before,
No.
where like
You hate Joe Biden because he's a Republican as a Democrat, being
Yes.
like, guys, this is what you're going to get. So this is the left side, right? This is the right side. And then in the middle is Joe Biden. And
Honestly.
all the way on the right side was like Trump. And on the left side is like AOC.
I honestly don't even think AOC is
Probably-
particularly left.
Not too
She's
far.
she's like
She's pretty left though.
she's a little farther left than Bernie, and Bernie is like moderately left.
Yeah.
Honestly, in my opinion, I generally like I wouldn't even consider a Joe Biden right wing. Like I mean, center. I would consider him fairly right wing.
Because he was pretty conservative
yeah.
up until now.
Yeah,
be
and
honest.
even now, it's like there's very few policies he's implemented that are particularly left. A lot of them are kind of center or center left.
But also the problem is the right side goes, give us more, and then they go, okay, here's more, and
Yeah.
they go, no, I
That's the
don't
other
want it
thing.
anymore. Okay, give us a little bit more. Okay, we give you a little more. No, we don't want it. And it's like, oh my god, stop asking. Like, I
Oh,
want
no, yeah.
pepperoni on my pizza. Here's pepperoni pizza. I don't want pepperoni pizza. I want bacon on it too. Okay, here's bacon on your pizza. I don't want bacon on it too. I want bacon, sausage, and pepperoni. Why can't you do anything right? And it's like you just want to punch that toddler in the face at this point.
Honestly,
It's fucking-
I mean, that's a whole other discussion. Like
Yeah.
the Congress is so
Inefficient.
not just inefficient. It's basically useless at this point. there is no way to get Republicans to concede on any point. Like, there's no way to meet them in the middle, because any movement towards the center will just force them to move more right to get more out of you. Like
Moving the
you were
goalpost.
saying right now,
Moving the goalpost.
moving the goalposts, and it basically makes it so like nothing can be done. Like, I don't know. Maybe it's because I watched like a really doomer take on climate change yesterday, but I mean, I think we're basically fucked.
Oh, well, maybe not us. Maybe our kids.
No, I feel like us. Like within the next 50 years, we're gonna start seeing the first effects of all the negative shit.
Oh, I'll be dead by then. It's okay.
50. Yeah.
I'll be
It'll
75.
be fine.
75.
No,
Nah.
but like within those 50
Execute
years.
me when I'm 60.
Yeah,
How's that
execute
sound?
me when I'm 60. I'll be fine.
Grind me up in a emulsion
Honestly.
and feed me to the kids in nutritious
Honestly,
paste.
if I haven't Robloxed myself by the time I'm 55, someone should just do it for me. Honestly.
Exactly. You reach retirement age, it is now execution age.
Yes. Because unless I have like a lot of money, it is not nice to be.
It is not nice to be
It is
old
not
and poor.
nice to be old
God,
and
it's
poor.
so sad. Whenever you seen like an old Mexican guy like pushing along a little
Yeah.
cart, and you're like, I wish I was rich so I could buy out your whole cart and then you just go home, or like I could just give you $1 million.
Yeah.
That's the crazy part. You could have $1 billion, right? You could afford to give away $1 million 1,000 times over.
Yeah.
Like that is just
Like-
no wait. Yeah, 1,000 times over.
Like, I don't know. Like, just like okay, like even if they don't get a job after having a house, which is very unlikely.
Yeah.
Very like statistics show that once homeless people get like housing, like normal housing where they can store their stuff,
Yeah.
they generally are able to apply for jobs a lot easier.
Getting
Because
clean.
come on, let's be honest. If you're an employer and a homeless person comes and gives you like the ratty resume,
Yeah.
are you gonna put that in with all the other ones? Or are you
They're
gonna
already
throw it in the
starting.
trash?
You're already starting on the wrong foot.
Yeah,
That's the other thing. I mean,
He comes and he smells bad. Like,
yeah, there's two things to that too. Because remember, it's a pretty big mental health issue. Because there are a lot of them where you can't. I mean, you stick them in a house, they're gonna be tearing off the walls and like schizophrenics and stuff like that. So it's not the only solution. But also, I get that there's a lot of them where it's just they had some bad luck. Maybe the wife took everything and she cheated, and she screwed him out. He's been bankrupt and he's living on the street for a while. Or maybe he had a small business and got robbed and things like that. Because I mean, of course, those situations happen, but there is still a really big mental health thing. The worst thing when you're mentally ill is being homeless. That's like the worst.
Yeah, that's
thing.
the worst thing. But more so than that, a lot of those mental health issues develop by virtue of being homeless.
Yeah.
Like they
Have mental
didn't
breakdowns.
start out like mentally ill. 3, 4, 5 months in, like it just takes one small thing to start, and then it just snowballs from there. Because let's say you're super stressed one day and you can't relax. Now you have to survive in the cold weather.
Yeah.
And now you're shivering cold. Now you have to try to it just keeps
Find
piling
food
on.
or something,
Find
get something
food.
else.
Now you're hungry. Now you have like memory loss because you're not getting enough nutrition, and then you start
You're malnourished. You can't sleep.
It's a whole like snowballing
sunburned.
thing. And but what I mean is like most of the homeless people aren't there because they were necessarily mentally ill. Like if you put them in a house for enough time, a lot of these people will recover because they'll have consistent access to water. That when they go panhandling, they can return home and they can store their money somewhere so they can get food tomorrow. Like it's not gonna get stolen from them.
Yeah, it's just support systems that
It's
people
support
would have
system.
to have.
Like the most consistent way to get someone to stop being homeless is by how do you call it? Is by the virtue of someone that's not homeless. Like if they crash in their friend's like house for like 5 months or something, they'll get back up on their feet. It's and it's not to say that there's not like the other side of the coin. Like obviously there's other things, but generally speaking, like based on the numbers and the maths, the mathematics, the statisticals, the testiculars that are out there, just giving homeless people houses is the most efficient way of reducing homelessness.
Yeah.
But of course, it's never going to happen because then people like us would no longer fear being homeless. So they wouldn't want us to. Like that's honestly a big portion of why homelessness exists. It's a direct countermeasure to the threat for the average person to continue working. Yeah. Like that pressure you feel to always work, to always do something, that's produced in part by the virtue of, hey, you're like this now, but you could be homeless.
Exactly.
You could be worse.
If they reduce homelessness rates to like 0, then everybody like, well, who cares? Like I'll just get propped up by the government or whatever.
Yeah.
But then again, I don't know. I don't think it'd be like I'd get propped up by the government. It'd be I realize now there's so many injustices that I have time that I can spend on and like rebel against the government.
Yeah.
But you're too busy with your day-to-day life to go, "Oh, you know what? There are some injustices. It's like, I got to go to work. Gotta
Yeah,
go to work."
exactly. It's the threat of that keeps you from being very, active in other areas. Like fucking like peasantry under nobility. Like you were too busy working to do that. And then once they
Once
like
began to
Industrial
starve
Revolution,
and
yeah.
everyone no, once they began to starve, then they went and beheaded them.
Yes.
So in
No,
conclusion,
but also like they got more political power once like the Industrial Revolution happened because
Oh,
they didn't have to work as long or as hard.
yeah.
So they got more political power by virtue of having time because before the only people who had time to
means
vote.
workers.
Yeah, exactly.
We're broke till Friday. Goodbye, my friends. We'll see you next week. Now I'ma go and beat my meat. And we're broke till Friday. Bye, my friends. We'll see you next week. And now I'ma go and beat my meat. And we're broke till Friday.